I've finally seen the first trailer for James Cameron's Avatar 2 in front of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and just as a teaser, it's a great first look at a film that director James Cameron has been working on for nearly 13 years. The technology used is groundbreaking, and visual shots in the footage do display how far things have come since the original film. I'm going to be giving you my reaction and breakdown to the first trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water, which is due to be released online in a week's time. Because it hasn't released online yet, I won't be including images of the trailer due to copyright, but once it is posted next week, I will share it on my community feed. But before I get into my breakdown of it, if you want to keep up to date on any of my content surrounding the Avatar sequels and other sci-fi series such as Denis Villeneuve's Dune, then don't forget to support this video by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my thoughts on the Avatar 2 trailer. So after Avatar: The Way of Water was announced as the official title for James Cameron's highly anticipated sequel, they have now debuted a trailer in front of Doctor Strange in theatres, and we get all the visual spectacle and grandeur of Pandora that we expected. The film's producer had said that each of the Avatar sequels would focus on Jake Sully and Ney'tiri's family across time, but that also each film would stand as its own one too. And the footage in this trailer very much emphasises that family aspect, and that an upcoming threat would put that and the Na'vis as a whole at a huge risk. It's key to note that before I break down the footage from the trailer, that because this is a teaser, there's not really too much shots that suggest the big story at play, and this will most likely come in a full-length trailer later in the year. But as a teaser trailer, this definitely sold me on the visual theatrical spectacle that Cameron brought with the first Avatar. So let's start by getting into everything seen in the brand new trailer. The 90-second teaser begins with those huge and familiar vines near the floating mountains of Pandora, and we see a family of Na'vi running and jumping across them. It's a visual shot that instantly brings you back into this world, proposing a sense of nostalgia, but also a newly framed approach with that of Jake and Ney'tiri's family being at the very centre. And speaking of Ney'tiri, we get a beautiful close-up of her face, showing the immense detail put into the motion capture and how far it's advanced since the original. This is followed by a shot of Na'vi flying banshees over water and heading towards a new tree location, and based on this footage, it seems like a lot of the new locations will be centered on shorelines and abstract ocean bases, really emphasizing the importance of water in this story. We know Cameron has been hooked on the ocean and even filming documentaries deep within, so it's obvious that he will go the lengths to really put his passion on screen. We then cut to a reverse setting, this time an industrial area with humans and Na'vi communicating. My guess would be that this is the humans who stayed behind after the war in the first film and chose to side with the Na'vis. And there's even the reverse of this shown with a brief look at Stephen Lang's villain from the first film wielding a gun, and this time he's even a Na'vi. So it seems there will be those like him using the tools to their advantage to fight back. But following a few more clips of classic winged helicopters taking off and more stunning imagery of Na'vi swimming underwater, this is where the footage begins to really build up, with James Horner's music and themes from the original film and creating a greater sense of action. The shots it accompanies include that of Jake Sully flying on the back of a banshee, looking concerned with a new hairstyle, and Ney'tiri trapped in what looks like a flooded submarine. This is followed by them spying on humans, imagery of Na'vi swimming alongside whales, and then Sully in a shot which looks like he's floating on water, but in fact, a creature rises from beneath, showing that it can fly in water and in the air. It was quite breathtaking to see this on a huge IMAX screen, and the montage of shots that Cameron presented just shows off some of the new things he's going to be doing with the film and some of the new locations that ought to fully transport us back to Pandora. But the short trailer soon begins to reach its end, and we get Jake Sully giving us the only lines of dialogue from it, saying, "I know one thing, wherever we go, this family is our fortress." Along with very brief glimpses of fighting and Na'vi looking on angered, it suggests that there will be a big threat standing against them. And from what we do see, it seems to indicate that the Na'vi are battling both a remaining military presence on Pandora, as well as fellow Na'vi who disagree with their own people. A final shot shows Jake comforting Ney'tiri, and with his dialogue aiding that sentiment, it's clear that he may once again find himself in the middle of both the Na'vi and the humans in a new war. We'll have to see which route James Cameron takes with the plot, but that's what I got from seeing the short footage in the trailer. So what are my thoughts on the Avatar: The Way of Water trailer? Well, this footage displays the full beauty of the varied landscapes, and there's plenty of creatures and elements that will instantly look familiar to the eye on screen. From the Na'vi flying banshees, to mountains, plants and rocks hovering in the sky, and military residing in the jungle. But it also gave us a lot more locations that weren't seen in the original film too, such as new industrialized areas, exotic beaches, and much more. For instance, in the industrial shot that's present, we saw a mech suit being used, one that was reflective of the one worn by the humans and even Stephen Lang's villain in the original film. But what felt completely new and immersive for this world in the footage is evidently highlighted in the title of the film, and that's what we get of the underwater sequences. There are multiple huge sea creatures that we haven't seen before, like one that very much reflects a whale, swimming side by side with an RV who looks really small in comparison. It's teased that, like some of the creatures in the first film, the Na'vi can actually ride them, showing that the integral bond that the first story pushed has expanded to the sea as well. Overall, the stunning footage was shown with almost no dialogue, and they used the cues of James Horner's beautiful music to support everything on screen. It's a perfect blend of the visual and subtle audio that will really blow you away if you watch it on the biggest screens. And this is just a taste of what's in store for Avatar 2. The original Avatar was praised for its CGI, and it's clear that the visuals in that film have held up way longer than a decade. But The Way of Water seems to have taken that even further with its ultra alive and vibrant locations, its lighting, and the immense detail shown on the faces of the characters, new and old. It's extremely impressive, and coupling that with the use of high frame rates and 3D technology drags the world of Pandora into the modern age. The original film also made 3D a new technological force, and while other films have failed to use that technology as successfully, from the trailer, the new Avatar seems to be putting in a claim for its use once again. The trailer makes the full use of its 3D, giving us clear and standout moments that will create quite the interaction. It's super impressive to see in this format, and hopefully it will create a new fascination and more successful long-term appreciation for it as the years go on. For all we know, the film might not do it justice, but based on Cameron's history with it and what I saw in this trailer, I think it's clear that the filmmaker is bringing all the immersive spectacle of Avatar to the big screen. It's questioned whether Avatar: The Way of Water can bring the attention back to this franchise after years of waiting, and while we won't get our answer to that until December, I would certainly not bet against James Cameron. And this trailer is one that demonstrates the extreme effort that he and his crew have gone to reignite the attention for it. But that was my video discussing my thoughts and breaking down the teaser trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water. It really is the kind of footage that makes you see how much work James Cameron has put into this film to really raise the bar for visual effects, 3D, and animated work. There might not be the biggest sign of story as of yet, but Cameron is responsible for some of the best big screen stories we've seen over countless decades, and I wouldn't bet against him to surprise us again here. The second trailer will give us a better idea of the actual main narrative, but as a teaser trailer, this did its job. It got me excited about Pandora again, and what this world could offer through its new landscapes, new characters, and hopefully its storyline. It'll be interesting to see how people online react to it when it releases on social media, because it seems that a lot of the hate towards Avatar comes from those online. I've spoken to many people in person over the last few years who are so excited to see what an Avatar sequel can bring, and that, coupled with us just talking about this film positively or negatively, shows that the attention will come. The better question is, how big will the attention be? And that will soon be answered. But as a first teaser, count me in as incredibly excited for the future of Cameron's Avatar, because I think he's showing again why he's such a visionary when it comes to his filmmaking, the technology he pushes forward, and how he can really get everyone talking about a film that isn't, say, Marvel or Star Wars. But if you've already seen the trailer in front of Doctor Strange 2, let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of the first footage from Avatar 2, alongside whether it gets you excited for James Cameron's new film. For much more videos and news on James Cameron's Avatar films, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.